Copper, a metal you might overlook, but it's the backbone of our modern economy. Essential for electric vehicles, wind turbines, and the power grid, copper is in dangerously short supply.
Copper.
Copper is essential.
Copper is the new oil.
The critical role and looming crisis of copper.
A documentary by Salomon and Young.
By the start of the next decade, we are facing a shortfall of over 5 million metric tons of copper. Electrification, moving away from fossil fuels, depends heavily on copper due to its unparalleled conductivity among non-precious metals. Electric vehicles require 4 times as much copper as gasoline cars, and wind and solar farms need twice as much as coal power plants. By 2031, the world will need over 35 million metric tons of copper, yet the supply is projected to lag behind at only 30 million metric tons. The Inflation Reduction Act has injected federal funds into green energy and electrification, driving copper prices up to over $3.50 per pound in May 2023. Goldman Sachs predicts that green uses of copper will drive 47% of total demand growth between 2023 and 2040. Major mining companies like Glencore, BHP, Rio Tinto, and Newmont are consolidating to secure quick access to copper deposits. However, opening new mines is costly and time-consuming, with Deutsche Bank estimating a 10-year timeline just for the permitting process. Current prices around $8,000 per metric ton need to nearly double.
Analysts say that copper prices would need to rise to $15,000 per metric ton to attract investment in new mines.
Environmental and social scrutiny adds to the complexity. For example, Tesla is reducing copper usage in its EV batteries, but these changes are unlikely to meet the growing demand for copper. Globally, existing mines and projects under construction will meet only 80% of copper needs by 2030. This has analysts predicting a new bull market for copper. In 2023, imports made up 40% of U.S. copper usage, and this could rise to 2/3 by 2035. Rio Tinto's Kennecott mine near Salt Lake City, producing about 200,000 metric tons annually, exemplifies the challenges and efforts in the industry. Copper supports more than 395,000 U.S. jobs and generates over $160 billion in economic output. Global demand has surged, largely driven by China's growth and urbanization, accounting for 54% of global consumption in 2021. An electric vehicle uses about 3 to 4 times more copper than a conventional vehicle, crucial for motors, batteries, and power cables. Recycling contributes 17% to the world's refined copper supply, but it's not enough. The Americas dominate global production, with Chile leading at 22%. Yet, demand between 2022 and 2050 will exceed the total consumed from 1900 to 2021. High-grade economic copper resources are scarce and often located in challenging or risky regions. Despite high costs and geopolitical risks, some new projects are emerging. Rio Tinto's expansion in Mongolia and a startup's discovery in Zambia show some progress. Yet, investor pressure for dividends and the capital-intensive nature of mining have constrained spending on new projects. Inflation and high upfront costs, with uncertain long-term returns, further deter investments. In the U.S., Rio Tinto is expanding its Kennecott mine and starting underground projects. Meanwhile, the Resolution Copper project in Arizona faces regulatory hurdles and local opposition over water use and land preservation. The San Carlos Apache tribe estimates the mine will need billions of gallons of water over its lifetime. The transition to renewable energy hinges on copper. The U.S. has potential reserves to become independent in copper, but challenges in permitting and public acceptance remain. Without copper and other critical metals, there can be no energy transition or decarbonization. Everything around us is either grown or mined, and to build the infrastructure for the future, we need to resolve the copper crisis. Potential risks and solutions. 1. Risk of supply shortfall. The projected shortfall of 5 million metric tons of copper by the next decade poses a significant threat to electrification efforts. Solution: increase investments in new mining projects and streamline the permitting process to expedite production. 2. Environmental and social scrutiny. Heightened environmental and social concerns can delay or halt mining projects. Solution: implement sustainable mining practices and engage with local communities to address their concerns and gain support. 3. High costs and investment risks. The high upfront costs and long timelines for new mines deter investments. Solution: provide incentives and subsidies for mining projects and stabilize copper prices to ensure attractive returns for investors. 4. Geopolitical risks. Many high-quality copper resources are located in politically unstable regions. Solution: diversify sourcing and invest in stable regions, while also developing technologies to access difficult-to-reach deposits. By addressing these risks with strategic solutions, we can secure the copper supply necessary for a sustainable and electrified future.